Hi, everybody. Darren Lynch, founder and CEO of Irish Titan, bringing you another whiskey shot. And with us today, we have Ford Crane from Klevu. Morning, Ford. How are you?
Good morning, Darren. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for making some time today. I'm looking forward to our chat.
No, likewise. Appreciate you making the time for me.
Great. So why don't you give a quick rundown on you and Klevu and what Klevu brings to the e-commerce market, just to get everybody up to speed?
Yeah, sure thing. So my name is Ford Crane. I'm Strategic Partnerships Manager for Klevu, based in Atlanta, where most of our U.S. team is located. Been with the company really since our inception in North America, about 5 years now. Wow. And it's been a ride. I started on the sales side of things. It kind of helped scale that side of the organization, and then pivoted to take over our partnerships channel, where I had the luxury of working with partners like Irish Titan and various others to help bring product discovery to the e-commerce world. Klevu in itself is a product discovery solution. And we've been known as one of the leading search technologies in the space, on-site search, for some years now. And as of recent, have really kind of pivoted and really just short of relaunched ourselves to encompass our full offering, being product discovery suite, an AI and NLP led product discovery suite. So that offers three solutions. That's our Klevu Smart Search, our Smart Category Merchandising, which powers category and collection pages, both the front end, the filtering, the product grid, the back end merchandising, but really the value add there being the AI kind of auto merchandising, coupled with the visual merchandiser, where merchants can go in and manually use their own business logic to merchandise away. And then the third solution being our product recommendation solution. All that underpinned by our personalization engine, which brings one-to-one personalization to every individual shopper as they navigate through the site in real time.
That is a great rundown on Klevu, and appreciate that. Before we get into a couple of questions, you commented that you've been with Klevu for 5 years, and I think that I've known Ford for a long time because we've both been in the space for a long time. So we're grizzled veterans, but you're still a young baby, right? Like my first e-commerce project was in 1998. So that's what, 24 years ago. And I started Irish Titan 17 years ago. So when you said 5 years and wow, I was like, oh my God, how much of a dinosaur, right, might I be? But anyway.
98.
Let's go ahead and dive in a little bit. So I think that there's a lot that we could talk about, right? And these whiskey shots are meant to be just that, a shot, right? Not a night full of pints. But I think that let's start with, how does product discovery, which I think we'll dig around a little bit on what we mean by that and why we're saying that, but how does product discovery really drive conversion? What's the relationship there and what's the impact?
Yeah, I think, when you look at product discovery as a whole, we're not just talking about search. There's a lot that can be learned from shoppers who engage in search. Those are your highest intent buyers. They often know exactly what they're there to search for, and they're often describing it in many different ways. And they're often, it's really a window into the shopper's mind on your site that you don't really get anywhere else. So being able to learn from shoppers' behavior based on their searches, the semantics behind their searches, their clicks and their purchases and their add to carts, et cetera. And being able to leverage that data within the AI to automatically provide a relevant shopping experience, no matter where they are on the site, is going to be key to conversions here in the 2022 and beyond. when you look at, again, product discovery as a whole, uh, you know, being able to kind of rely on AI to provide some insights, pick up on trends that you might not otherwise be catching, to really kind of have that in your back pocket, but also being able to kind of balance that line between AI automation and strategic control. I think that's where the real value lies.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think, key to driving conversions, um, is just that. It's being able to leverage machine learning, and let it play its part, which also in turn allows you to really focus on other areas of the business and not have to worry so much about your merchandising, so much about your search rankings, et cetera. But also being able to influence those things with your own business logic. AI is not going to know necessarily that certain seasonality of your shoppers,
Right.
or
Or certain products you want to emphasize.
exactly, they're not going to know that you just launched a campaign last week.
Right.
You got to do that. And
Right.
so being able to kind of walk that tightrope and balance that line between again, AI automation and strategic control, I think is really where it's most valuable.
So I think that one of the things I've really found interesting in our conversations is even some of the terminology, quote unquote product discovery. And I think that we don't live in, I think we're, quite honestly, I think we're still pretty early in the evolution of e-commerce and what inning we would be in if compare it to a baseball game. But we're definitely not in e-commerce 1.0 times anymore, right? The platforms now have matured to the point where I think they're a little bit more scalable, a little more technically reliable. And one of the benefits to that is it allows the merchant to retain additional budget that they used to have to allocate towards technical ownership and maintenance and support and upgrades. They can preserve some of that for more growth related activities, right? And that's where I think things like in the big concept here, like search, loyalty, acquisition, conversion, retention sorts of priorities can emerge. And so we're moving into e-commerce 2.0, 3.0 sort of times. And I think product discovery as a phrase is even a reflection of that, right? So tell me a little bit about how that even came about. You and I talked a little bit about this, and I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, again, I think it's kind of a natural evolution of our product, at least. But I think really, you see that happening kind of across the ecosystem and landscape. But really, I think offering a relevant shopping experience, no matter where you are on the site. If you think about it, when you're talking about product discovery, and when you're talking about search, category merchandising, and product recommendations, the three solutions that Klevu offers, that's often powering 90 to 100% of the product touch points on a website.
Right.
And so with that, being able to learn from, having one platform to power that experience and power those product touch points, and being able to learn from shoppers' clicks, shoppers' purchases, add to carts, et cetera, across all of those areas, and being able to influence each one of those independently is extremely valuable. It's something that in the past, historically, they've been siloed. If shoppers were converting and clicking and adding to cart within search, that wouldn't affect the product ranking within category pages, or that wouldn't affect how what's showing up in product recommendations. And so having a solution that can learn from all of those and be able to kind of strategically optimize itself, in real time as shoppers navigate through the site, learning from their preferences, learning from their attributes and variants and brands and categories and things like that they interact with, and being able to offer that shopper independently relevant shopping experience is extremely valuable.
Right. I love that phrasing of product discovery, right? And words matter. I mean, most of the time, right? Sometimes they don't. Now I'm undermining my own point, but sometimes words really matter. They signal a level of thought. They signal intention. And that concept of product discovery, I think, challenges us to think a little bit bigger about how we can be driving acquisition, conversion, retention strategies on our e-commerce sites. So love that. You're going to say something important?
Yeah, and you bring up retention strategies. And 30 to 60% of shoppers will abandon a site or bounce if they aren't seeing the products that they want.
Right.
And as a merchant, you're paying for all of that. Because oftentimes they're not coming back if they're not having that relevant experience, if they're not finding those products that they want, because negativity bias is a real thing. And so, often what we've seen over, a year-long census from 2021 is that when these merchants are implementing AI and NLP product discovery tools, they're seeing an average of an e-commerce conversion rate increase by 12%, per session value increase on average by 37%, and search-led conversion rate increased by 19%. Those are powerful numbers. And this is because using one platform for product discovery ensures that site-wide behavioral data is shared across search and category pages and product recommendation banners.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're seeing, the impact of product discovery being on our clients by and large, and also what we've seen, with other, tools and solutions out there, leveraging product discovery. I think it's an important thing to consider that, in the past hasn't always been extremely top of mind, to say the least. I think, search it's come a long way in even just the past 5 years even.
Right.
And you weren't always able to do what you can do now and leverage the technology that is at your disposal now that you always have been in the past. So I challenge everyone to think, out there to think about, how you're leveraging product discovery and the influence that AI and natural language processing could have on the impact it could have on your business and your clients out there. So
yeah. Well, Ford, you've provided a lot of valuable content in this conversation, but is there any nugget, any takeaway that you would want to leave the audience with as we wrap up this whiskey shot?
I think pretty much just what I said. I think, as everyone watching this is out there and, the various duties that everyone does, think about how search plays a part in your business. Think about, how relevance and how product ranking optimization could play a part in improving a number of different performance metrics. Think about try and break your search. See if your search really is kind of up to par. I think I'll kind of leave it at that. I think just consider how product discovery could play a part in improving your sites.
I think product discovery is a nice nugget for people to walk away with, as is try to break your search. I like that. All right. Ford, thank you for spending some time with us. We love it. Thanks for the partnership over the years, and we're looking forward to more.
Darren, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. More whiskey shots will be on their way. Talk to everybody soon. Sláinte.
Cheers.